Right, everybody, I've not prepared anything.
What's no surprises?
But everybody's always asking me questions about how I got started, and well, I'm sure everyone knows a lot of the questions that I do get asked quite a bit. Okay, can you, hello, not working, okay? Hello, not working. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, actually, okay, for the benefit of back, I'll use the microphone. Rock and roll. So you can, okay, right, well, first obvious question is how I got started. And it started, like most of us, with a computer I got as a Christmas present to help with the homework. They've never seen Andy's video. That's, I was a pestering kid at the bottom of that thing. And we were very much writing games because even if it had money, and most of us certainly didn't, the games, we could see them in the arcade. We'd all seen our new first Space Invaders machine. It was very special to most of us, and we got the home computers without telling our parents, but what we really wanted was a Space Invaders machine in our bedrooms. And the only way to do it was to learn to write a game. And quite a lot of us met up in various computer shops. Tandy were renowned for being generous with their space and time. And we started writing games just for our own amusement, really. And fortunately, at the time, the publishers were just starting to look for software because they realised that everybody else was thinking along the same lines of playing Space Invaders and Pac-Man and all the old favourites, Asteroids, as a big spurt. Okay. I suppose I should work out what I was going to say next. Okay, right. So that's when I started writing games. So I suppose the next most important thing is how I started in the industry, which is Bug Bite, my first publisher. Well, they weren't actually. No, but they were my second publisher. They were looking for the Spectrum just came out, and the publishers were looking for any new Spectrum software. And I was recommended as somebody who could write a Spectrum game, although I've never actually seen a Spectrum. But it's not too bizarre because I knew the chip inside the Spectrum inside out already, and so I just borrowed the Spectrum, and 3 weeks later delivered a simple little game called Sticks, which some people remember, but not as many as a few weeks later I wrote Manic Miner. And then that's where are we now? Right, here I am. I'm like, okay, 17. I've written Manic Miner. I'm getting rather larger royalties than I've ever thought feasible, and my decision to leave school at 16 was beginning to starting to look as though it wasn't quite so stupid. I'm pretty sure when I left at 16 I wasn't just trying to avoid my maths homework, but I wasn't sure at the time that there was a good living to be made in the games industry. Now if you hear that Well, Andrew said when he started, it was the same for me. The developer used to be very much in control of what games were written, and many people say this contributes to what is seen as one of the golden ages of games, is that the games are written by artists, by programmers with ideas, and then offered to publishers to either publish or not publish. And if one publisher didn't like it, there was always another publisher. And it's said that the huge I can't clarify my thoughts exactly on this right now, but at the time, the developers were very much in control, and it shows in the innovation, the rate of innovation that was often seen at the time. But the publishers, we were still dependent on the publishers to pay us our royalties, and that was often a question of trust, because we had contracts, but they were generally like by modern standards, they were flimsy legal documents which either left one party or the other. Not always. It wasn't always the publishers deliberately trying to screw the programmers. Sometimes the programmers were demanding contracts that left the publishers with very little right to publish. And actually Bug Bites was one of those, which is instrumental in me taking Manic off them when they weren't paying me quick enough. And so I set up software projects, and shortly after that was when I met Stu. He came to work for us very early on. Just after, yeah. Mind you, the company had sort of started before then. I really should have worked out some of this before I started coming talking about it. So. Anyone who kept a diary probably knows a lot more about it than I do. Anyone got any questions about this early period? Like, before, well...
Did you say you had to make published before Sticks?
Before I was... yeah, but on the TRS-80, it was a very, very limited market. It was in the... I think it just about scraped into double figures, the sales. It was all mail order from a specialist company in Bexhill. They kept a really big catalogue, so they published just about anything. And but it was only if people heard of something. Maybe there were some people buying everything, and that accounts for my nearly double figure sales.
Have you got a copy of your own game?
I don't know. No, I'm still missing some of my really early stuff, and so. But I'm not really looking that hard. It's, I'm still trying to look forward at the moment. And then, okay, well. Starting software projects, yeah, it was part of my incentive for starting software projects was to avoid well, my main motive was actually financial control. I already